Ladies and gentlemen, life has a way of teaching lessons in silence. People often take for granted what's right in front of them, assuming it will always be there. They grow comfortable, careless, and in that comfort, they forget the value of what they have. And sometimes it takes losing you for them to realize they let go of something extraordinary. You see, not everyone will appreciate your worth while you're giving, loving, and showing up day after day. They might see your kindness as a given, your support as an obligation, or your presence as a constant that requires no thought. But when you walk away, when you finally choose yourself over the endless cycle of being taken for granted, something shifts. The void you leave behind speaks louder than your words ever could. It's not about revenge or proving a point. It's about understanding that your value doesn't decrease just because someone else failed to see it. You're not here to beg for appreciation or to convince others of what they've lost. You're here to live your life, to grow, to thrive, and to surround yourself with those who see your light and never want to lose it. When they lose you, they don't just lose the version of you they thought they knew. They lose the moments of comfort you provided, the unwavering loyalty you gave, and the unwavering belief you had in them even when they didn't believe in themselves. They lose the one who stood by them when the world felt heavy, the one who celebrated their wins, and the one who saw their potential before they even recognized it. And here's the thing, when you choose to walk away, it doesn't just leave an empty space, it leaves a lesson that not everything in life is replaceable, a lesson that no one else will show up quite like you did, a lesson that sometimes you don't know what you had until it's gone. But this isn't just about them, it's about you. You're not leaving because you're weak, you're leaving because you're strong enough to know when it's time to move on, strong enough to protect your energy, to honor your worth, and to make room for people and opportunities that align with the best version of you. You don't have to explain your decision or seek validation for walking away. The silence of your absence will say everything that needs to be said. The peace you find in choosing yourself will be the greatest reward, while they are left searching for the peace they let slip through their fingers. So keep moving forward. Keep building your life, your dreams, and your happiness. Those who truly value you will never risk losing you. And those who didn't, let them wrestle with the weight of their choices. Because once you've walked away, they may search for peace, but they'll never find it the same way they did when you were there. People often fail to recognize the value of what they have until it's no longer within reach. This tendency isn't always intentional, but it's deeply ingrained in how many of us operate. When something or someone becomes a consistent part of our lives, it's easy to take their presence for granted. The kindness, support, and love that once felt extraordinary gradually it's not that people deliberately choose to undervalue others, but comfort and familiarity have a way of dulling appreciation. Imagine someone who shows up every day offering their time, energy, and care without asking for anything in return. At first, their actions are acknowledged and even celebrated, but as time goes on, those same actions become the norm. The extraordinary becomes ordinary, not because it's lost its worth, but because it's always there. When people grow accustomed to consistent love and effort, they often stop seeing it for the gift that it truly is. This is a common flaw in human behavior, overlooking the value of something while it's easily accessible. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to look for the next big thing, the next thrill, or the next source of excitement. Stability, loyalty, and unwavering support can sometimes fade into the background, overshadowed by distractions or the assumption that they'll always be there. It's only when that stability is disrupted, when the unwavering presence is no longer available, that people begin to grasp what they've lost. Loss has a way of amplifying what was once overlooked. When someone who gave selflessly walks away, it creates a void. Suddenly, the small acts of kindness they perform daily are no longer there. The comfort of knowing they would always show up is replaced by silence. The loss becomes an undeniable reminder of the value that was once present, but unappreciated. What was once taken for granted now feels irreplaceable. This realization often comes with regret. People begin to replay moments in their minds, noticing all the times they failed to say thank you, failed to show gratitude, or failed to reciprocate the love and care they were given. They wish they could go back and undo the apathy that crept in over time. But by then, it's too late. The person they lost has moved on, and the opportunity to show appreciation has passed. It's a painful truth that many people only learn to value something in its absence. This isn't just about relationships, it applies to many areas of life. We often fail to fully cherish our health until we're unwell, our opportunities until they're missed, or our time until it's gone. But in relationships, this truth is felt most deeply. When someone gives their best and isn't valued, it's a loss not only for them, but also for the person who failed to see their worth. This cycle of taking for granted and then regretting loss is avoidable, but only if we choose to actively appreciate what we have while it's still within our grasp. Silence can be louder than words, and absence can teach lessons that presence never could. When you walk away, when you finally remove yourself from a situation where your value was overlooked, your absence speaks in ways that nothing else can. It's a void that people can't ignore. A sudden and undeniable reminder of everything you once provided, everything they took for granted, and everything they'll now have to live without. When someone has grown accustomed to your constant presence, it's easy for them to underestimate how much they rely on you. Your support, your love, your unwavering loyalty become invisible threads that hold so much together. But those threads are so seamlessly woven into the fabric of their lives that they often fail to notice how strong and essential they are until they're gone. The moment you walk away, those threads unravel, and the emptiness left behind is impossible to ignore. This absence isn't just a physical void, it's an emotional one. It's the quiet moments where they reach out for the comfort you used to provide, only to find that it's no longer there. It's the realization that the reassurance, understanding, or encouragement they relied on isn't a constant anymore. It's the harsh truth that the emotional safety net they assumed was permanent is no longer beneath them. What's most impactful about your absence is that it forces people to confront the consequences of their actions or their inaction. While you were there, they may not have reflected on how they treated you or appreciated all that you gave. Your presence might have allowed them to avoid accountability, to continue in their complacency or neglect. But once you're gone, there's no escaping the reality of what they've lost. They are left alone with their thoughts, forced to wrestle with the weight of their choices and the role they played in pushing you away. It's not just about what they lose, it's about what your absence represents. It represents boundaries, self-respect, and the realization that you were not obligated to stay where you were undervalued. It's a powerful message, one that doesn't require words to be understood. It says, I deserved better, and I chose to leave because you couldn't see my worth. This absence also has a ripple effect. It changes the way people perceive you, even if they won't admit it. They begin to reflect on what you brought into their lives, your kindness, your support, your energy, and they start to see it in a new light. What once felt ordinary now feels extraordinary in its absence. What they once assumed was replaceable now feels unique and irreplaceable. The void you leave behind becomes a teacher, showing them that not everyone will stay, not everything will remain available, and not all support is guaranteed. While they struggle with the silence you've left, you've already moved forward, finding peace and fulfillment elsewhere. And in that silence, your absence speaks a truth that will linger far longer than your presence ever could. Your value is not defined by someone else's recognition of it. It exists independently of their ability or inability to see it. Now, this is one of the most important truths to understand because, far too often, people measure their worth based on the way others treat them. They equate appreciation with value and assume that if someone doesn't acknowledge their contributions, care, or effort, it must mean they aren't good enough. But nothing could be further from the truth. Your worth is intrinsic. It's not something that fluctuates depending on someone's perspective or behavior. The love, kindness, and effort you give to others are reflections of who you are, not of how others perceive you. Whether someone chooses to see and honor your value says more about them than it does about you. Some people lack the capacity to appreciate what's in front of them because they're caught up in their own world, too distracted, too self-absorbed, or simply not ready to recognize the gift they've been given. It's important to remember that just because someone doesn't see your worth doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Imagine a diamond buried in the dirt. Its brilliance is hidden, but it's still a diamond. It's still valuable, regardless of whether anyone notices it at that moment. The same is true for you. Your value is not diminished simply because someone fails to notice it. There will always be people who fail to appreciate what you bring to the table. It might be because they've never had to work for what you offer, or maybe they've never learned to recognize the effort and care it takes to consistently show up for someone. Their inability to acknowledge your worth doesn't make you any less valuable. It simply means they aren't equipped to see what you bring. When you internalize this truth, you gain freedom. You stop seeking validation from others and start living from a place of self-assurance. You stop trying to prove your worth to people who are blind to it, and instead, you focus on those who genuinely see and appreciate you. You begin to pour your energy into places where it's valued, rather than wasting it on those who only drain you. This understanding also helps you set boundaries. It teaches you that you don't have to stay in situations or relationships where you're not appreciated. You don't have to beg for someone to see what you bring to their life. You are not responsible for convincing others of your value. Your responsibility is to honor yourself by walking away from those who don't see it and moving towards spaces where you are celebrated, respected, and loved for who you are. Your worth is not conditional. It's not something you have to earn, prove. It's inherent. The sooner you embrace this truth, the sooner you'll free yourself from the weight of needing someone else's recognition. You'll realize that you've always been enough, just as you are, whether others choose to see it or not. Walking away is one of the most powerful and courageous things you can do. It's not a sign of weakness or failure. It's a declaration of strength. It takes an extraordinary amount of self-respect and inner resolve to remove yourself from situations where you are not valued, respected, or treated as you deserve. Often staying can feel like the easier choice. It's familiar, it's predictable, and it spares you from confronting the unknown. But choosing to stay in a place where your worth is overlooked comes at the cost of your peace, your energy, and sometimes even your self-esteem. Choosing to leave is not about giving up, it's about standing up. It's about standing up for yourself, for your happiness, and for the life you know you deserve. It's about understanding that you are not obligated to remain in spaces that diminish you, regardless of how long you've been there or how much you've invested. Strength is not about enduring endless disrespect or neglect. It's about knowing when enough is enough and having the courage to say, this is no longer for me. Walking away requires you to confront fear head on. There's often fear of judgment, fear of loneliness, or fear of what comes next. These fears can be paralyzing, making you question whether leaving is the right decision. But strength isn't the absence of fear. It's taking action despite it. It's choosing to believe in yourself and your future even when the path ahead feels uncertain. It's trusting that leaving something that doesn't serve you is the first step towards something far greater. There's an incredible sense of empowerment that comes with walking away. It's a reminder to yourself that you are in control of your life and that you won't settle for anything less than what aligns with your values and your sense of self-worth. You're not allowing someone else to dictate your happiness or your worth. You're reclaiming that power for yourself. When you walk away, you're also sending a clear message, not just to others, but to yourself. You're affirming that you deserve better and that you're willing to make the hard choices necessary to protect your peace and prioritize your well-being. This act of self-respect sets the tone for how others will treat you in the future. It creates a standard that says, I know my worth, and I won't accept anything less than what honors it. Leaving doesn't erase the memories or the effort you've put in. It doesn't mean you didn't care or that you didn't try. It simply means you've recognized that staying is no longer in alignment with your growth, your happiness, or your purpose. It's not about quitting. It's about choosing yourself over circumstances that no longer serve you. True strength lies in knowing when to let go, even when it's difficult. Walking away is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new chapter. One where you honor yourself fully and create the space for something better to enter your life. When someone loses you, it's not just your presence they miss, it's everything you brought into their life. Your love, care, loyalty, and support leave an irreplaceable mark. These qualities are not commodities that can be easily substituted. They are unique reflections of who you are and how you choose to show up in the lives of others. Your absence becomes a stark reminder of all the moments and contributions that were once quietly taken for granted. The impact of your absence is often felt in the smallest, most unexpected ways. It's in the words you used to say that now echo in silence, the comfort you used to provide when things felt heavy, and the encouragement you offered when they doubted themselves. People don't just lose the physical presence of you, they lose the emotional safety net you created. They lose the sense of stability, understanding, and compassion that came so naturally from you. What makes this loss so profound is that these qualities cannot simply be replaced. No one else can love, care, or support in the exact way that you did. Relationships are built on unique connections, shaped by the time, effort, and emotional investment you've poured into them. When you walk away, what's lost isn't just a person, it's a bond, a sense of belonging, and the immeasurable value of being cared for in a way only you could provide. So what's this memorable value for those of you out there wishing to find it? In hindsight, the lessons of your absence become clear to those who failed to value you. They begin to understand that not everyone has the capacity to show up the way you did. They realize that genuine care and unwavering loyalty are rare, not guarantees. This realization often comes with regret, as they start to notice the irreplaceable gaps in their lives, gaps that no one else can fill. Your absence teaches an important truth. Not everything in life is permanent, and not everyone will wait forever to be appreciated. It forces people to confront the reality that relationships require effort, gratitude, and mutual respect. They are reminded that the things they take for granted don't exist in abundance. They exist because of intentional choices, sacrifices, and love. But the ripple effect of your absence doesn't end with them. It extends to you. Walking away reinforces your own sense of worth. It affirms that you don't have to stay where you're not valued, and you don't have to accept treatment that doesn't align with the respect and love you deserve. It gives you the strength to move forward, leaving behind what no longer serves you, and creating space for relationships that will genuinely honor your presence. The void you leave is more than just emptiness. It's a reflection of the value you brought. It's a reminder to others of the depth and impact of your care. And while they may struggle with what they've lost, you gain the freedom to live your life with people who recognize your worth and cherish you for who you are. The best response to being undervalued or overlooked is to shift your focus entirely toward your own growth and happiness. It's not about seeking revenge or trying to prove your worth to those who failed to see it. Instead, it's about reclaiming your energy, redirecting it toward yourself, and building a life that aligns with your values, goals, and dreams. By prioritizing your growth, you create a future that is filled with fulfillment and purpose, one that no longer depends on anyone else's approval or recognition. Focusing on yourself means rediscovering who you are outside of the roles you played for others. It's about asking yourself what makes you happy, what inspires you, and what drives you to wake up each morning with a sense of excitement. Often, when you invest so much in others, you forget to invest in yourself. You put your own needs, dreams, and aspirations on the back burner. Walking away from a space where you are not appreciated gives you the opportunity to reverse that pattern. This journey of self-focus is transformative because it allows you to grow in ways you might never have imagined. You begin to explore new interests, build new skills, and set new goals. Whether it's advancing in your career, developing a creative passion, or improving your health and well-being, every step you take towards self-improvement brings you closer to the life you deserve. The energy you once poured into others who didn't value it is now channeled into creating a better version of yourself. And that's a powerful shift. When you focus on your happiness, you also surround yourself with people and environments that uplift and inspire you. You begin to attract relationships and opportunities that are aligned with your true self. These are the people who celebrate your growth, encourage your dreams, and value your presence without question. They don't require convincing or reminders of your worth. They see it instinctively and honor it effortlessly. This focus on yourself isn't just about achieving external success. It's about cultivating inner peace and confidence. It's about reaching a point where your sense of worth isn't tied to anyone else's opinions or treatment of you. You learn to find joy in your own company, to celebrate your own victories, and to heal from any pain caused by those who didn't appreciate you. You stop looking outward for validation and begin finding it within yourself. As you grow and thrive, something remarkable happens. You inspire others, even those who failed to value you before. Your transformation serves as a silent reminder of what they lost, but by then, their opinions no longer hold power over you, because you've built a life so fulfilling that it doesn't depend on their acknowledgement. Your happiness and growth are the ultimate responses. They're proof that you don't need anyone else to validate your worth or determine your potential. By focusing on yourself, you take control of your story, turning the pain of being undervalued into the fuel that propels you toward a brighter and more fulfilling future. In the end, the greatest power lies in recognizing your own worth and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. When you walk away from those who fail to value you, you send a powerful message, not just to them, but to yourself. Your absence becomes a lesson, your growth becomes your response, and your happiness becomes your victory. Life is too short to spend in spaces where your presence is undervalued. You owe it to yourself to seek environments and relationships that nurture your soul, celebrate your contributions, and inspire you to be your best self. Walking away is not about bitterness or regret. It's about choosing yourself, prioritizing your peace, and stepping into the life you are meant to live. Let your absence teach the lessons your presence never could. Let your growth and happiness show the world and yourself that you are unstoppable, irreplaceable, and undeniably worthy of everything you dream of. You don't need their validation. You are enough just as you are. Keep moving forward, knowing that the best is yet to come.